In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get your hands on all high work suitability pals you'll need for every task in your base, plus some of the most powerful endgame pals in Palworld. The best part? You only need 9 pals to make it happen, and 5 of them can be caught without even leaving the starter area. And yes, I'll be doing this from scratch in a brand new save, so even if you just picked up the game, you can follow along and get started in the most efficient way possible. Early access to powerful pals, weapons, and even a method to earn unlimited gold right from the beginning. So without any further delay, let's jump into it. Once you have spawned into your world, your first step is to grab the fast travel point just outside your starting location. Talk to the NPC lady standing nearby, she'll give you some wood to start. After that, gather wood, stone and some palladium fragments to craft your first tools and a few pal spheres. Your immediate goal is to hit level 4, which unlocks both campfire and hanging trap, which are the key components of our unlimited gold coin method. Next up, craft a bow and a decent number of arrows. Trust me, you're gonna need them. Now head out and start catching a few cativas in the starter area. Their active skill boosts your weight carrying capacity, which is incredibly useful early on when your inventory fills up fast. I recommend catching at least 5 at this point. Stacking them in a party will make resource gathering a whole lot easier as you are beginning your adventure. Once you're all set up, hit respawn. If you have enabled multiplayer mode, you will now see multiple fast travel points unlocked, and from here we are heading straight to the Eastern Wild Islands. Once you have arrived at the Eastern Islands, head to the center of the island. You'll find a black marketeer there. Set a hanging trap near his feet and a campfire under it, just like I'm doing here. Do not hit him yet. Since the Fabric update, this farming method was nerfed. Hitting him now is considered a criminal act and will give you a wanted status. This will spawn in the PIDF infantry, who will easily wipe you at this level. But to get the gold, you still need to hit him once, and this is where the bow comes in. In my experience, ranged attacks are much safer than the melee attacks. Based on my testing, melee attacks triggered PIDF 6 out of 10 times, while range attack only triggered it once in 10 tries. So, aim for his head, fire one arrow, and you'll usually get a criminal act warning, not a full-blown wanted status. That one shot is enough to trigger the item drop. The item drop set to 3 times in the world setting, you can earn around 35 to 45,000 gold per kill. If you do get the wanted status, just quit and reload the game and it's gone. I farmed him 7 times and walked away with around 250,000 gold coins. Even though it's not as easy as it once was, it is still one of the best early game money tricks in Palworld. After that, you need to respawn once more and head to the Sea Breeze Archipelago Castaway Beach. Follow the shoreline towards the Fisherman Port. Be cautious when crossing near the volcano area. You can run out of stamina and drown. There is a small rock midway where you can rest and recover before moving on. Make sure you grab any Liftmark effigies you come across. They'll give you a much needed boost for catching 2 of the 9 key pals, both of which are above level 20 while you're still under level. Also be sure to clear out any trash piles in this area. They are an easy way to grab hyperspheres early in the game. Once you reach the Fisherman Port, head over to the Green Merchant and grab the following gear: a Ring of Mercy, heat resistant pelt armor, a makeshift handgun and around 450 course ammos. This is all the gear we'll be using for the rest of the guide. The Ring of Mercy in particular is super useful for catching pals without accidentally defeating them. Next, make your way down to the Blue Pal Merchant. Pick up a Reptiro and if you spot any other pals with strong passive skills, just grab them too. If you don't want any pal that he has, just close and reopen the game. His inventory will reset. You can repeat this as many times as you want until you get the right passives. By doing this, I managed to get a Reptaro and Vanworm with Musclehead. I chose to get a Vanworm since you unlock Vanworm's saddle at level 21. It is one of the best early mid-game flying mounts. Finally, talk to the red merchant. Buy 12 tomato seeds and 15 lettuce seeds, which we'll be using for a salad farm. And use whatever gold you have left to stock up on Megaspheres. From here, you can set up your base wherever you like and continue the rest of the guide. I personally chose to head back to the Eastern Wild Islands and built my base on an open area just about the Black Market here. Once you've placed your PAL box, start building your starter base. Complete a few base missions to level up your base and unlock more working PAL slots. This will help automate tasks much faster. Our next goal is to reach level 50, which unlocks the saddle for Nightwing, your first flying mount. What is the best way to level up in Palworld? Catching pals. Head back to the starter area and start catching whatever you can, but keep an eye out for the pals with strong passive skills. For combat, Serenity, Musclehead, Demon God, Ferocious are the best. For base work, Remarkable Craftsmanship, Artisan, Work Slave and Serious are the best. You can also look out for Vampiric or Nocturnal, especially useful for a non-dark type pal to work at night time in our base. The better the passives, the smoother your progress will be, so don't be afraid to catch extras until you get the right ones. You can always stock up on more Megaspheres later. Now the first 5 pals you'll need to catch are Lamble, Nightwing, Rushor, Daydream and Tombat. Also keep in mind that Daydream and Tombat only spawn during night time. I explored the starter area and managed to catch a few Lamballs, Nightwings and Rushors. While exploring, I also came across an NPC added in the Tides of Terraria update who gave me a life fruit. In this update, Pocket Pair has added several new NPCs like the ones we saw earlier at the Fisherman Port, and many of them offer quests with some pretty solid rewards. So whenever you see an NPC, go talk to them and check out their quest. And if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. Later, I made my way to the desolate church where we encountered Zoe, the first tower boss, and yes, in this update you can actually capture her. As night fell, I looped back to the starter area and went on another round, this time catching Daydreams and a Tombat, which completes the first 5 pals that we need on our list. Next, I headed into the boss tower to take on Zoe and her Griswold, mainly to gain a few levels and grab some ancient technology points, which we'll need later to unlock the egg incubator. After defeating Zoe, I went out on another catching spree, picked up a few more useful pals and eventually made my way to the small settlement. There, I visited the red merchant and bought some wheat seeds. I also talked to a bunch of new NPCs and one of them gave me a quest to hand over a water type pal. In return, he rewarded me with a stout fruit. That was just enough for me to hit level 50, so I immediately unlocked the Nightwing saddle and of course crafted it right away. I also set up some wheat plantations to start preparing for cake production. To get maximum efficiency, the ideal setup is 1 berry plantation to 3 wheat plantation. Since berries grow faster than wheat, this ratio keeps your ingredients balanced. And if you ever want to double your output, just scale up to the ratio 2 berry plantations to 6 wheat plantations and so on. Now that we got our flying mount, it is time to catch our 6th pal on our list, a Griswold. I fast traveled to the Sea Breeze Archipelago Castaway Beach and made my way to the first wildlife sanctuary. I carefully circled around the island, doing my best to avoid the PIDF infantry. Since we are pretty underleveled, they could kill us easily. Eventually, a Griswold spawned. And since we need both male and a female for breeding, and the first one was a male, I kept looking. Griswolds are a rare spawn, but luckily it only took me about 20 minutes for 3 of them to appear. With that done, I fast traveled back to the fisherman port to grab our 7th pal, a pirate, from the pal merchant. And I managed to get one with the passive Musclehead, which was a great bonus. We already picked up our 8th pal Reptile earlier. He'll be super useful later when it's time to boost the cake production process. Now, we have every pal we need, except for one. Hell Zephyr. Hell Zephyr spawns at night in the area just above the eastern wild islands. On my way there, I caught a few more town bats with some solid passive skills. But by the time I arrived, it was already daytime. So I had to grab the fast travel point and return to the base. And spent the entire day upgrading the base. I added a mill and started flour production. Assigned a bee guard to the ranch, which I bought from the black market here. Reorganized the base layout a bit. And even caught a chill at World Pass since we need a cooling pal for the upcoming tasks. Once nighttime rolled back around, I fast traveled to the sealed realms of the Swift. This is where things get tricky. Hell Zephyr spawns at a level 26, which is 8 levels higher than us, so be extra careful. Don't get surrounded and use your strongest pal wisely to bring down its HP before attempting a capture. If you followed everything so far, you should be around level 19, which unlocks the breeding farm. To breed pals, you'll need cakes, and each cake requires 5 flour, 8 berries, 7 milk, 8 eggs, and 2 honey. Thanks to our farming setup, flour and berries are already being produced in bulk. So you don't have to worry about those. That just leaves milk, eggs, and honey. You can get milk and eggs from the wandering merchant who occasionally shows up at your base. You can even capture him and place him in your base so that you have access to these items. If you don't have one at your base, no worries. Just head over to the small settlement where a merchant sells the same supplies. Now, before you buy anything, check your pal box. If you've got any pals with noble or fine furs passive, you'll get a discount on the shop prices. Once you've got all your ingredients, craft them in a cooking pot and assign a Reptoro to it. His level 3 kindling will have those cakes ready in no time. While Reptoro handles the baking, I went ahead and placed down and built the breeding farm. I also added 2 more Reptiros to my base, which I bought from the pal merchant at the fisherman port, just to boost productivity even further. Once you've got a good number of cakes ready, you can finally kick off the breeding process. Start by breeding a Griswold with a Nightwing to get Yarmontide, the OG watering pal and still one of the best water type combat pals in the game. Next, breed Griswold with Daedrill to get Blaze Howl. You can then breed Yarmontide with Blaze Howl to get Yarmontide Ignis, which is currently the best kindling pal available and also a fantastic fire type combat pal. Then, take your Yarmontide and breed it with a Tombat to get Gangler. Gangler stands at the top as the best watering pal in the current update, and because it's part dark type, it works both in day and night time without wasting a passive slot on Nocturnal or Vampiric. Next up, breed Griswold with Pyrin to get Relaxaurus. While you could catch one in the wild, Relaxaurus always spawns with the negative gluten passive, which makes it consume more food. By breeding it instead, we can avoid that drawback. After that, breed Griswold with Relaxaurus to get Orzhov, one of the best electricity generating pals in the game and a top tier combat pal. With Orzhov and Gangler, you can then breed them together to produce Breloha. Breloha is one of the new pals which is best for both planting and gathering tasks. Then breed a Reptaro with Rashor to get Splatterina, which is hands down the best pal for handiwork, and being a dark type, it works during both day and night. Then I bred Splatterina with Nightwing to get Anubis, a powerful all-rounder pal and an excellent pal for mining base. After that, I combined Orzhov and Hellzephyr to get Astagon, the best mining pal in the entire game. Next up, breed Griswold with Lambold to get Kitsune. After that, breed Astagon with Kitsune to finally get Shadowkeep, the best non-legendary dark type combat pal in the entire game. Finally, to wrap up the core combat and base utility pals, I bred Breloha with Griswold to get Knocklum. This is the best pal when it comes to transporting, and it also happens to be one of the best ground type combat pals. As a bonus, I also bred a few support focused pals for the base. Breeding Base Howl and Tombat gave me a Shroomer Knock, which slows down sanity consumption while at base. Then I bred Breloha with Lambold to get Lulu, which improves crops growth rate. Finally, I bred Relaxaurus with Daydream to produce Prunelia, which has the ability to increase crops harvest rate. And now, as an extra bonus, here is how you can get Zoe and her Griswold in your playthrough. After you've defeated Zoe and her Griswold in the tower, head over to the Desolate Church. You'll find Zoe there, and when you speak to her, she'll give you a quest asking to see a Griswold. Just pull out one of the Griswolds we caught earlier from your pal box. Have it out with you and talk to her again. She'll then ask you to either defeat or capture 5 Free Pal Alliance grunts. You'll usually find these grunts hanging around just north of Desolate Church. Take out 5 of them and return to Zoe. For the final parts of her quest, she'll tell you about losing her blanket while running away from a group. You can find it lying on the ground at Fort Ruins. Bring the blanket back to Zoe, and once you hand it over, she'll reward you with Zoe and Griswold. Just like that, you've got one of the coolest partner pals in the entire game added to your squad. With that, we're all set. You've now kickstarted your adventure with a powerful lineup of pals covering everything from base efficiency to top tier combat pals even before hitting level 25. If you find this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Palworld content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.